Finally tonight, our #1 story on the countdown. The president goes to Paris. The first daughters begin their summer vacation. A look at the 20-something gatekeepers at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And special outtakes from inside the White House. President Obama flew to Paris today on the last leg of his Middle Eastern European trip. Tomorrow he'll meet with French President Nicolas Sarkozy, and he'll go to Normandy for ceremonies commemorating the 65th anniversary of D-Day. And the president was joined in France by First Lady Michelle and daughters Malia and Sasha. The Obama women spent some time at the Eiffel Tower. Then they'll spend the evening with Dad and will all attend Saturday's D-Day ceremonies. And when the president goes back to Washington on Sunday, the girls are expected to stay in Paris and hang out with Mom for a while. The president is hugely popular in France, but now that Michelle and his daughters are there with him, the French press is comparing the Obama's visit to the time in 1961. President John Kennedy and wife Jackie O visited Paris. At that time, Jackie so upstaged her husband, JFK referred to himself as the man who accompanied Jackie Kennedy to Paris. When President Obama goes back to work on Monday, among the first people he'll see will be the White House gatekeepers. Here's NBC anchor Brian Williams with the story of the 20-somethings who stand between everyone and the president.
Office of the President.
Katie Johnson, KJ, is 28. She's the president's secretary and sits right outside the Oval Office.
That's what we'll do.
So much happens in her day, from organizing the president's desk to monitoring his meetings through a peephole in the door.
Hi, everybody.
Even a little chit-chat with the Secretary of State.
Where did you meet her in college?
I went to Wellesley. So.
Did you?
Yeah.
I did not realize that.
Yeah.
I think I knew that at one time.
Yeah.
What year did you graduate?
2003.
Some of my very best friends forever. In fact, I'm going to go back for part of my reunion.
Which one do you have this year?
Oh, please don't ask.
Johnson landed her job as personal secretary after 2 years of hard work on the campaign as assistant to campaign manager David Plouffe. Before that, she worked for then Congressman Rahm Emanuel, who is now the president's chief of staff.
It's a basketball for the president to sign. Yes, sir.
You weren't supposed to film that.
Among other things, KJ is now the keeper of the presidential candy and cufflink drawer.
These are Fran's chocolates from Seattle, the president's favorite from the campaign trip. Candy he ever talked about.
And there's presidents have a secret drawer, cufflinks, tie bars, all that stuff. Is that
it? Which we're still, it takes a while to get all that stuff made. So we have cufflinks.
Okay.
Which we'll give out.
Those are good.
West Lobby, this is Darian.
Darian Page is 27. She was an Army sergeant in Iraq. She is now the West Wing receptionist.
Okay, yeah, fine.
And in this place that loves acronyms, the president, who is known as POTUS, has dubbed her ROTUS, Receptionist of the United States.
Hey, how you doing?
She's the first person to greet every guest who arrives here.
How do you describe your job? You're really the first line of defense in the White House.
Yeah, when I was approached about the position, they said, how would you feel about being the face of the West Wing? And I thought, that's kind of weird. But once I got in here and got started, there's a lot going on.
Are people surprised to learn you're a veteran?
Most people are.
What did military service do for you? How is your life different today?
Well, it instilled a bit of discipline in me that I didn't have before. Growing up, I was kind of an unruly, crazy child. So for me, it taught me a lot of respect for other people, for myself, for the service.
And for these folks who've reached the pinnacle of politics in their 20s, you can't blame them for wondering where to from here. Brian Williams, NBC News, the White House.
When you spend an entire day at the White House, you bring 32 cameras and shoot more than 150 hours of tape, you're likely to find yourself in some tight spots. Here are some of the outtakes from Brian's day inside the Obama White House.
Their willingness to overcome hardship and difficulty.
That is my BlackBerry.
Well, there you go.
I can't control it. I don't use the phone. This cheesy music.
I'm wearing a microphone, just so you know.
Oh, are you? Oh. I just want to say you're doing a hell of a job, brother. I'm lost. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good evening.
Oh, Jesus.
Come on, man. I can't believe you found me in here. Yes, we do go to the bathroom here at the White House.
Status report, consumption of food so far has been 1 Sudafed and half a banana. So I'm ahead of the game as I look at it.
Thanks. I'm tired of talking.
I always come in here and take.
We're excited to watch as long as this part's not in it.
Hey, sorry.
Excuse me.
Sorry. So we're gonna.
Hey, NBC personality, Chuck Todd. Good to see you.
It's a day in the life without Tommy throwing the ball around.
Oh, well, there's that.
All right, you guys can go now. I hate all of you. You guys are like me.
Don't even know about my diet breakup.
This is for Pete's niece, who goes to UNC, and who's apparently Republican, but Pete's been working on her.
Everyone today has asked me,
What's Brian really like?
we're out of here.
See what you're making us do?